Welcome students, very good morning to all the students those who are preparing for Internet Management 2019 exam. As you know, we have already covered our prior series. Now it's a fresh and new series. We are covering important concepts for the paper 2 management. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive the notification as soon as the video is uploaded. If you are facing any challenges or any difficulty in any of the subjects, please try to put a comment in the comment box. We'll try to upload the video as soon as possible. Let's continue. We have first most important topic that can be asked in your coming exam, that is the globalization. This process consists of 4 stages. Very important key point, note down, there are 4 stages. It's the creation of a global vision, then you have integration of overseas organization, establishment of multiple corporate headquarters, promotion of a global hybridization, and you have the process globalization of process administration and the cultivation of entrepreneurial middle management. These are simple ones, self-explanatory. In the revision, we will be going through very fast. It's a fast text series. And you can always pause the video, make your notes, or take a printout, or take a screenshot, whichever you are finding comfortable. Let's continue. We have the BOP payments, very important one, that is called the balance of payments account. We have the country's balance of payments account, which is the major source of information about the country's foreign trade and the foreign currency reserves. So these are the important ones. You have the current account that throws light on the country's exports and the imports, as well as its major sources of imports and destinations of exports. These two are very important for your BOP payments. You have the capital account, which reveals the stock of foreign investments, and you have the borrowings. Then you have the lendings and the foreign exchange reserves. An international firm must be duly aware of exchange controls prevalent in the foreign countries. Let's continue. We have the aesthetics, very important concept, can be placed in your competitive exams and in the coming exams. These are the aesthetics, they pertain to the culture's sense of beauty and good taste, and is expressed in arts, term of music, folklore, and the dance and like. And the aesthetics are of special interest to the international business executives, for these govern the norms of beauty in a society and are helpful in correctly interpreting meanings of various methods of artistic expressions, or you can say colors, shapes, forms, and symbols in a particular culture. Most of the key points are really important. You can note it down. Let's continue. We have colors, for instance, that is the mean different things to different people. Let's continue. Theory of competitive, or you can say competitive cost advantage, very important theory. It was given by David Ricardo. He was a famous scientist and a management philosopher. He gave in 1817 the theory. Though adhering to the absolute cost advantage doctrine of Adam Smith, again, he is a famous scientist and the philosopher. He has immense contribution in the field of economics. He pointed out that the cost advantage to both the trade partners was not a necessary condition for trade to occur. It would still be beneficial to both the trading countries, even if one country can produce all the goods with less labor cost than the other country. You have, according to David Ricardo, the long as the country is not equally less productive in all lines of production, measurable in terms of opportunity cost of each commodity in two countries, you have to measure the opportunity cost of the commodity in both the countries. It will still be mutually gainful for them to enter into the trade. Very important concept. You have to consider the opportunity cost of both the countries. Let's continue. Now let us see the key point, which is also related to opportunity cost theory. According to the concept, the theory, the basis of international trade is the differences between nations in the opportunity costs of production of the commodities. Very important concept. Let's continue. Then we have the assumptions for the opportunity cost theory. What are the different assumptions? The first assumption, that is a 2 country and a 2 commodity model, important model. There are 2 countries and 2 commodities, and you have the 2 factors of production. And the factors are labor and the capital. Very important. You can note it down. These are really important for exam. Now let's continue. We have the factors of production that are the perfectly mobile. Important key point, that the factors are mobile within a country but immobile between the countries. And the factors of production are fixed. They are not variable, they are fixed. There is a perfect competition, that is the supply in both the factor and the product markets. And you have price, that is the factor is equal to the marginal productivity in each employment. The price of each commodity is equal to employment in each country. Very important key point, make a note, that the price of each commodity is equal to employment in each country. There is no technical change. The changes are not there. You have the same technology that exists in the countries, and the international trade is free. You can jot down all the assumptions. If you find that the assumptions are really hard or big, you can always take a screenshot and make your handy notes later. Let's continue. Very important concept of management concepts, and it can be definitely placed in your coming exams. It is product life cycle approach. Let us see what this approach is all about. In the first stage in the sequential development of the product is the new product stage, which emerges in the home country following innovations as a result of intense R&D, that is the research and development activities by the company. Then you have the product is introduced in the overseas market through export, and innovating firms earns excessive profits both from domestic sales and exports abroad because of its monopoly position. Important key point to note. The second stage is characterized by the mature product stage. This is known as maturity stage. The demand in the foreign countries expands. Now the demand is expanding and the host country firms begin to produce competing products. Very important, competing products बनाना चालू कर देती है कंपनी. कंटिन्यू करते हैं. प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल के बहुत ही अदर अप्रोचेस के कॉन्सेप्ट के इंपॉर्टेंट की पॉइंट्स देख लेते हैं. काफी बार की पॉइंट्स से काफी क्वेश्चन प्लेस किए गए हैं एग्जाम्स में ऑलरेडी. द होम कंट्री एंटरप्राइज इज इंट्रोड्यूस. होम कंट्री एंटरप्राइज को इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है, इन्वेस्ट किया जाता है अब्रॉड में फॉर टेकिंग द एडवांटेज ऑफ इस टेक्नोलॉजी. टेक्नोलॉजी का एडवांटेज लिया जाता है, इंक्रीज किया जाता है डिमांड को किसी भी प्रोडक्ट की. एज द कंपनी स्पेसिफिक एडवांटेज ऑफ द फर्म्स कंट्रोलिंग द टेक्नोलॉजी आर मच हायर देन लोकल फर्म्स. The production in the host country would be cheaper. This is an important key point. It stimulates foreign investment in subsidiaries. In the third stage, the product becomes standardized. Very important key point. The product becomes standardized. Added competition grows. Very important key point. The competition is growing now in the world market. The M&E, that is the multinational enterprises, invest even in the LDCs, that is the least developed countries, where the cost of production is lower. Very important key point. The host country otherwise has to import these products. Otherwise, they have to import these products from the abroad because its own production cost is more. Very important key point. Students, mark this key point. This would be there in your exam, that the host country is importing these products from abroad because the cost of production is more. Let's continue. Now, let us see the other concepts. These are really important for your paper 2 management exam and also for the UPSC students and MBA students. Now, let us see a paradigm, an important paradigm. Paradigms are really important for your exams, and this paradigm is known as eclectic paradigm. Now, let us see this paradigm. Eclectic paradigm was developed by John Dunning, very important scientist, great philosopher. He is John Dunning. He developed in 1978 the eclectic paradigm. You can note it down in your notebook or take a screenshot. This is a very important concept. Attempt to synthesize the other FDI, that is the foreign direct investment approaches, and these are based on the company specific advantages. You can note it down. These are company specific advantages, internalization advantages, and country specific advantages. There are 3 advantages: specific advantages, internalization advantages, and country specific advantages. These are very important for a company. Now let us continue. Electric paradigm assumes that the multinational enterprises possess ownership advantage. Very important key point. They possess ownership advantages. And now you move from intangible assets in the form of technology. What are they having? They have intangible assets and they are actually in the form of technology. Now let us continue. Very important act, students, mark my word, very, very important. This is Foreign Trade Act and this was given in 1992. Now let us see what this Foreign Trade Act is all about. The foreign trade of a country consists of outward and inward movement of goods and services. Very, very important. It consists of goods and services giving rise to inflow and outflow of foreign exchange. When the foreign trade of India is governed by the Foreign Trade, that is the Development and Regulation Act 1992, and the rules and order issued under the payments for export and import trade transactions, very important in terms of foreign exchange, are regulated. How are they regulated? They are regulated by FEMA, known as Foreign Exchange Management Act, given in 1999. Now, the physical operation of the foreign trade transactions of export and import of other goods and services through various modes of transportation is conducted and regulated under the Custom Act, and this was given in 1962. You can note it down. Very important key points, students. Mark my words. Some question will be there around these key points. Now, let us see some other key points that is again related to Foreign Trade Act, and it was given in 1992. Now, let us see what is this all about. In order to protect the image of a country, how to protect the image of the country? A producer and exporter of quality goods and services, a detailed program on quality goods and services, a detailed program of quality control, pre-shipment inspection, this is known as PSI, is also in vogue under the export, that is the Quality Control and Inspection Act 1963. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसे जरूर नोट कीजिएगा. एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी कंट्रोल एंड इंस्पेक्शन के नाम एक्ट से नाम से जाना जाता है, 1963 में दिया गया था. Beside the above 4 acts governing the foreign trade operation of the country, there are number of other rules and regulations. ये 4 एक्ट तो हैं, इसके अलावा काफी सारे अदर एक्ट्स भी हैं जो गवर्न करते हैं एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट्स को. चलिए देख लेते हैं. कुछ मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट की बात करते हैं. कार्गो इंश्योरेंस, इंटरनेशनल कन्वेंशंस which need to be strictly observed while conducting the export and import business. Let's continue. एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट में इन सारे की पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखा जाता है. बाकी की पॉइंट्स हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखेंगे. उम्मीद करते हैं आपको सीरीज पसंद आएगी. सीरीज को काफी कंसोलिडेट करके काफी इंपॉर्टेंट की पॉइंट्स को मेंशन किया गया है. हमारी बहुत ही बड़ी एक्सपर्ट्स की जो टीम है उन्होंने फॉरेन राइटर्स को काफी कंसोलिडेट किया है और डिफरेंट राइटर्स को कंसिडर किया है और आपको टोटली की पॉइंट्स एस्टैब्लिश किए हैं ताकि आप आसानी से एग्जाम को क्रैक कर सकें. यहाँ पे वही मैटर इंक्लूड किया गया है जो एग्जाम परस्पेक्टिव से इंपॉर्टेंट है. अनइम्पॉर्टेंट मैटर को पूरा डिलीट कर दिया गया है. और अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट है किसी भी सब्जेक्ट या किसी भी कॉन्सेप्ट में, आप हमेशा से कमेंट बॉक्स में मेंशन कर सकते हैं. उसका वीडियो तुरंत अपलोड कर दिया जाएगा. और अगर आपका कोई भी फ्रेंड या रिलेटिव है जो तैयारी कर रहे हैं नेट मैनेजमेंट की या फिर यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स हैं और मैनेजमेंट की तैयारी कर रहे हैं या फिर वो मैनेजमेंट के स्टूडेंट स्टूडेंट हैं उन्हें भी आप इन्फॉर्म कर सकते हैं, वो बेनिफिट कर सकते हैं सीरीज से। चलिए मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट क्लास में और कंटिन्यू करेंगे हमारी सीरीज को और डिस्कस करेंगे अदर इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स ऑफ पेपर 2 मैनेजमेंट दैट वुड बी हेड इन December 1st week